Hello, friends, and welcome to the Monday Show 27. I'm your host, Wes. With me, as always, my good friend, Ruuts. Ruuts, it's a special Tuesday edition of the Monday Show. How are you doing on this fine Tuesday evening?
Hey, every time we do this, every time we're off by a day, my week gets fucked up, and by the time Friday gets here, I'm thinking it's Saturday. So I'm a little confused, but I'm happy that it's Tuesday. I think Monday. No.
Well, you're in luck because it just so happens to be leap year, so maybe that extra day will even you out at the end of the week.
Yeah, maybe.
Anyway, as I'm sure all of you know by now, why we waited till Tuesday to do the Monday show. It's a special episode, Ruuts. We have the Quest and PlayStation VR release of Freediver Triton Down today, and it's a momentous occasion, Ruuts. They sent us an early copy so I could play through it on Quest. They sent us some extra Quest keys. And by the time that the people watch this, we should have some PSVR keys to give away. So a little bit later in the show, we're going to talk a little bit about Freediver, what the experience is like compared to the PC version, and we're going to give away some games. And I'm pretty excited about it.
Yeah, anytime we get to give away games, I'm always excited. So, especially with Quest ones, being that there's not that many games out, and this is such a good game. What an amazing game to win, right?
Yeah, and just an amazing game to add to the library, and not only of Quest but PSVR as well. Quest specifically because there's not that many adventure style games to go to in Quest, but PSVR as well because let's face it, those guys need something to play, right?
Yeah, especially this month. They got Iron Man snatched away from them, so they need some consolation, right?
Yeah. Well, this is a little more than nothing. This is a solid title, and we're going to talk about that at the end of the show. But first, let's do some Monday show stuff, Ruuts. Let's talk about our backlog progress this week in a brand new backlog report. On the Virtual Strangers show this past week, or the past 2 weeks, honestly, we talked a little bit about this update that came to Boneworks. And just earlier today, I managed to get some time in on Boneworks and check it out. And you tried it out as well, didn't you, the other day?
Yeah, actually, and had a lot of fun. It's one of those games that every time I go into it, I spend more time in it than I think. I think I'm going to go in real quick, just check out a couple things, and last time I went in, I actually finished 2 levels, and that was the first time I've done that in a row, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, I was noticing the same thing about it myself. At the same time of being one of the weirdest, most uncomfortable games to play, it's also one of the most addicting games to play, and you just never really want to quite stop playing it, right?
Yeah, I think it has a lot to do with the graphics and then just the immersion. Every time I go in there, I feel like I'm really in there. I'm looking at my Jerry Rice hands, and I'm just thinking, "Fuck, man, this thing looks amazing." And I don't know, man. It's funny because right before we started filming, you broached the subject, and I'll just bring it up here. Like, what if you, and maybe if you've done this, comment in the comments below because I really am curious. But what if you played this game with the Cosmos and their jank ass controllers? Because we were talking about how janky it can be to begin with, but with those Cosmos controllers, I can't imagine, man. It'd be crazy.
I'd say it'd take about 20 minutes before you end up smacking them together and breaking them apart, right?
Yeah, it's really bad.
But anyway, for the first time in a long time, earlier today, I got back into Boneworks. I've literally been waiting on this update to do so, because the last time I played it, it took me like 2 hours or something to play through a level, because of my, inquisitive play style. I like to check every corner and stop and smell the roses a bit. But really, I was done playing at about the 90-minute mark and had to keep going another 30 minutes just so I could beat the level and save the game. So that was the last, I put it down for probably 6 weeks now. I put this game down and I got back into it today And yeah, immediately was immersed in the game again. I remembered why I liked playing it so much. Um, and I tested a few of the things out that they're claiming. You know, they claim that they tone back the interactions with the hands a little bit, and I could tell that right away. I played around a little bit in the title screen. You know, there's things for you to grab and mess around with and break, and it felt like there wasn't as much friction as I remember uh, in the hand interactions.
Yeah.
Did you notice the same thing?
Yeah, no, I didn't notice that, but I definitely know that everything felt a lot better. But lost my train of thought for a second there. But no, I definitely think that everything that they put in this is made it a lot better. And now, did you get a chance to check out the save points? I'm assuming you used them, or you threw your stuff in there. And did it seem like there was too many of them, or was that? I know somebody was complaining about that, or maybe it's just was that just that specific level? I don't know.
No, I saw one save point and I used it, and it came in handy because before I beat the level, I got killed.
Oh, really?
So it was pretty cool that I didn't have to go all the way back to the beginning.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Well, that is good.
But when it comes to the save points, now since we're on the subject, I did kind of get that feeling. You know, like some people are reporting that they're feeling this kind of snarkiness coming from the developers, kind of like they're begrudgingly putting the save points in there. And I kind of got that impression as well, just from the way that they're implemented. Just by looking at the things, they look so silly, don't they?
Yeah, and you have to grab them and hold on, and it just seems like very elaborate a save thing, right?
Yeah, you sit there and you have to squeeze it with both hands, and then when it finally saves the game, like this guy's face pops up, and I assume it's one of the developers, and he's not smiling, Ruuts. He's just
Yeah, maybe that. See, I really would like to. I'd be curious to see or hear an interview because I don't think that they were happy with having to put that in there, or maybe they thought it was redundant, but I think it was needed. So
yeah, I already know what they were thinking. They were thinking, we set it at the front of the game. This is for expert VR players. It's not for lightweights. That's what they were thinking.
yeah,
Thinking we're being whiny.
yeah. Well, we were being whiny, and they needed to fix it. So I'm good. I'm glad. So,
But you know, I was in that spot. I know you're quite familiar with it. As soon as you run down that hallway and the dude slides you the gun under the door, and the door closes, right? The overhead door closes, and then you go into that room off to the side, and there's like a gun vending machine in there, and there's that pallet jack. You know what I'm talking about, right?
yeah.
Yeah. That was the area I went into, and there was a save point right after that, and after I saved it and I noticed how silly the thing looked and the guy's face looking back at me, there's a set of lockers right behind you. If you open up all the doors to all the lockers and stand back and stare into them, it says sorry real big. Like, sorry.
And what are they sorry about, do you think?
I think it's a sarcastic, oh, we're sorry we didn't do this to begin with. We're so sorry, guys. I'd be interested to go back and look at footage from before the update to see if that was in there before, because that's the way I took it. It was like, sorry.
I didn't see that. Yeah, that's kind of interesting, actually. I don't know. Do you think that they really are kind of snarky about it, or?
Well, this isn't the first time we've seen them put stuff like that on the walls. I know I found a secret area on one of my first playthroughs, and it had a quote on the wall that said, quote, "What if it's just a tech demo?" So they're obviously they're snarky, sarcastic people, right?
Yeah. Well, let's be fair. To be fair, it kind of is a tech demo, you know, like somebody said something, I think it was Mamefans, actually it was his review on Steam. And that was one of the things that he specifically had said, not that it was a tech demo, but that there's really no story. Like they they make it out that there's a story, but there's really is no story. You know what I mean? Like they have the TVs, they got this little bit. It's like they added it on because people bitched about it being a tech demo, you know? And
Right.
and don't get me wrong, it's an amazing game for what it is. It's awesome. But I think if they could have put an amazing story with it, it would be 10 times the game. You know, it's like it's just not as good as it could have been if they would have had a really good story with it. But that goes for almost every game. So
You know what they have to say to that, Ruuts?
and I'll probably say sorry. Fuck you.
Sorry, bro. Sorry we didn't have a good enough story.
Yeah.
What if it's just a tech demo?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It feels so good. It's such an amazing game. It just you know, it's one of those things that you know, they just I don't know, they could have done better.
So like another thing that they claim with this this update is what you're looking at right here. They claim easier climbing, and while it's not perfect, I still have trouble mounting the top of ledges. I still can't do it. The actual climbing part of it, I did feel like it was a little bit easier to do.
Now you told me before that you jumped up on the ledge and then you'd be like teetering back and forth, kind of not able to get up, correct? And then it falling back, or
Right.
Yeah.
I still can't climb over ledges. I have to have a bar or something to pull myself above it to get up.
yeah, I can't do it either. But I can't, to be fair, I can't even get teetering like you can. So, and I know I've heard people describe it, and you got to like pull yourself up and have your legs crouched a certain way. And I don't know, you do the hokey pokey and you turn yourself around, and then next thing you know, you're up there. It just seems like a lot of weirdness to me.
Yeah, but it's it fits with this game. It's kind of the story of this game. It's like it's one of the coolest, best experiences ever, but it's got unnecessary difficulty at the same time. It's like having sex in the backseat of a Chevette. You know what I mean? It's tight. It feels kind of good, but you feel like if you were just had sprung for the hotel room, that everything would have been just great.
I think we should have sprung for the hotel room, I think. Yeah, but no, yeah, I agree. That's a good analogy. It definitely amazing, but could be better. Yeah.
But anyway, with the climbing in particular, even though I still wasn't able to mount ledges, that room we were just talking about with the vending machine and the guns in it and the pallet jack, and then there's like a wall with a door in it that you go through.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure you're familiar with the room. That room is kind of like a steel, like a steel building type room, and there are these I-beams in the corners of the room that go all the way up to the ceiling, and there are bars in the rafters. And I managed to easily scale one of those I-beams all the way up to the ceiling, and make my way across the bars in the rafters. There are windows up there you can look through into the next room and see what's there. And I actually climbed over top of that door platform thing and dropped myself down on the roof of it just to see if I could. And I did it quite easily. And that was very satisfying, because there's been many of these areas in my prior playthroughs that I felt like if the climbing just worked correctly, I'd be able to do stuff like this. And now, for the first time ever, I was actually able to do it.
Well, that's good. And that sounds pretty good, actually. I need to go back into it. And I need to finish this game, Wes, because like I said, the last time I went in, I finished 2 levels, and I feel like I'm getting close, but I don't know story-wise. I don't know, man. I've only came across 2 or 3 TVs. Am I like far into the story, or because I don't know what the fuck's going on? Is there a story to it? I know there is a little bit of a story, but I wish I knew what was going on. It's starting to bother me.
Well, when I finish it, I'll give my best analysis I can of the story. There's definitely something weird at play here. I find it super odd that the worker bee type guys, the orange guys that you can bash their heads in from the very beginning of the game,
Mm-hmm.
I find it odd that they'll bleed to death and their corpses remain. but then the guys that are riding around on balls are completely digital, and as soon as you kill them, they fizzle out and disappear. So obviously these are two different kinds of beings in this world, and I'm curious. I'm curious as to what the nature of this half digital, half physical world is.
Yeah. Well, I definitely am curious as well, and it's one of those things that I guess only time will tell. I just, like I said, I want to know a little bit more about the story, a little bit more about what's going on, but I don't know if I ever will.
We will, Roots. We'll get there, bro. Together. No, we've got a title coming to Oculus Quest from Stress Level Zero, and it's going to tie in somehow. So maybe that'll hold some more clues. Even if we don't get all the answers from Boneworks, maybe we'll get some more of the story from that title.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
And maybe they'll have save points from the very get-go.
And maybe they'll be sarcastic as hell in that one as well. Maybe.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Anyway, I had a lot of fun playing Boneworks, as I always have, and it seems even a little bit better now. So I definitely see myself getting back into it again in the very near future, maybe even tomorrow.
Yeah, definitely. I know I probably will be going into it tomorrow as well.
All right, man, that was my backlog. What did you do for yours?
All right. For my one, actually, I saw Radio Runt talking about it in the Discord, and it got me thinking about it. It got me thinking that I need to get into this game as well. And I decided to take a non-gropey approach at Lone Echo. And let me tell you, Wes, because I decided to right off the bat, not only not non-gropey, and just gropey as much as just messing with her, but I didn't even shine the light in her face and mess with her at all. I didn't mess with Olivia at all. I went in with the expectation that this is my friend and I'm going to respect her and I don't want to piss her off. And so one of the things that I thought was really cool about this is I actually learned something about the story. I found out that I really am her friend, to the point where there's so much in this game that I didn't even know. I'm looking around and I saw this thing on the wall and it had a bunch of different items in there. And when I inquired about it to her, I found that these were gifts that I'd given to Olivia that she had framed, and they were things from Jack. And so there's an underlying story of a companionship between these two. And so I'm really liking the story as far as in that respect, and gone a lot further than I have ever gone before, which is pretty cool. So
yeah, this is another one of those. It's in my backlog as well, and it's getting higher by the day, only because the sequel's coming, and I want to play the sequel, but I don't want to play it until I get this one behind me. And I had similar experience in it to you. I've got it to do. Did you start from the very beginning again?
yeah, I started at the beginning just because it's been so long, and I was like, man, I don't even know. Aside from the fact that I didn't want to have to do those early missions again, where you're just fixing things. Pretty much that's most of the game is. I mean, you're a repair bot or whatever you are. That's your job. As much as you hate it, you got to go do all this shit that the human can't do because you don't want her to die. But what I like about this as well is it actually gives you dialogue choices, and they may not change the story per se. It kind of gives you an option. I kind of, like I said, I took it from the point that I'm her friend. So whenever I got to answer, I gave a genuine response. And so I got a genuine response back from her. And it really did feel like I was having a conversation with somebody. It was pretty cool. So
what it sounds like you're saying here is the strengths of this game, what it's known for, which is the lifelike human avatars and kind of the, I don't know, it's not just the avatars that's lifelike about them. They seem to have personality, like real personality. That's what this game is known for. And I think what you're trying to say here is that even though this game is what 2 or 3 years old, it still holds up in the age of Asgards and Saints and Sinners and Boneworks, right?
Yeah, definitely graphically. And then, I mean, some of the things that, I get frustrated with a lot of repetition. So, like, if I'm just having to constantly do the same thing over and over again, like when I went out into space and I'm fucking shit up and I'm having to try to figure out stuff. And like I was telling you, like, it's different when you're out in space and your battery goes, something jank happens and it goes flinging off into space. And now you're jetpacking, trying to grab it before it goes floating away. But man, that space when you're outside and you're looking at that expanse and it's just so beautiful, right?
I think it's just propaganda, Roots.
Oh yeah,
Ball Earth propaganda.
it's flat
Just
Earth,
trying to
dude.
make you, try to keep you from the truth of the dome.
Yeah, the dome of flat Earth. That's right. And I was thinking about that the whole time I was there out there in space. I was like, this isn't real. Fuck this shit. But it looked real though, Wes, man. You know, it's kind of cool is getting on that skiff, the Fury and stuff, when it's taken off and it's taking you places. And one time I forgot to grab on and it went taken off without me. So you kind of have to pay attention. So it was pretty cool.
That sounds pretty awesome. How does the graphics look in the new headset? Was this your first time trying Lone Echo in the Rift S?
Yeah, actually, and it looked amazing. Plus, not only that, but I was able to super sample the hell out of it as well. Because I didn't have the 2080 when I played it last as well. I had the 1070. So one thing I did find out, well, I don't know, I guess that was the other game. But no, this is definitely one of the like you said, holds up with today's games very well. And if it wasn't for the fact that I felt like a robot that was having to do all the work, it was good. Felt like she was using me, Wes.
Well, this is your first time playing it since the Me Too movement, so I'm glad to see that you've changed your
Yes.
behavior. But now that you've done that, now you're seeing that the tables have turned. Instead of using her, she's using you now.
Yeah,
And,
see, that's not fair, man. She's using me like Harvey Weinstein. It's not cool, man. I don't like it. So, but yeah, no, at least, there are reasons though, because like there was one point where I had to go and I guess I went into, I don't know what the hell was going on. It was weird laser beams of lava and shit, and felt like I was going through some weird obstacle course. But like she put it, when I offered to go in, she can't, she'll die, and when I die, I just go into another robot suit and no big deal, right? There's a million of those.
Oh, yeah, like Aspire One, right? Every other room, you can just pop right into a new body.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what, though, Wes, after popping into a new body 4 times in a row, when I went in that alien ship, and I just can't even bump into a fucking wall, man. I don't know what's going on in there. I know somebody's dealt with this before, so let me know, because I died like 3-4 times in there, and then I was done. So.
Let me ask you this: something else other than the production quality and storytelling. This game's also known for unique and innovative locomotion style. How did that play with the inside-out tracking?
That was good. I didn't really seem to have any issues as far as grabbing walls or throwing myself off. I mean, felt, a lot like Freediver, as far as, similar movement. I was telling you that earlier about how it's kind of ironic that it just chose this game before we even knew Freediver was going to be on the list. And they're both similar movements in a sense, except for you can't move through the air with your arms, but you can shove yourself off and then, being able to propel with your boost. It's really cool the way you move around in this. So.
Yeah, just a great game. I don't know why I ever got away from it. It's one of the few of the Gen 1 titles that was good enough. You know what I mean? There weren't many back then that were good enough to be, to show flat gamers and say, hey, look at this. This was one that was not a whole lot of weaknesses here, is there?
No, it's just so beautiful, especially out there, like exactly in this place where you're at now, and it's a lot of floating around out there, Wes. So
Ruuts the floater.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think it's going to wrap the backlog report. 2 great games that may be on next week's backlog report at this rate, because I think we both kind of want to get some more time in.
Yeah, I almost wanted to finish this one today if I would have had more time, and if I wouldn't have died to that stupid ship's wall. Man, I don't like dying to stupid shit, Wes, and especially if I don't know why I'm dying. You know, you shouldn't die when you bump into a wall, but apparently it's alive and it doesn't like me, and I don't like it either. So
well, that's a badass wall, dude. You don't want to mess with it.
Yeah, stay away from that wall for sure.
Yeah, I heard Pink Floyd wrote a song about it. It was such a badass.
Yeah, the wall. That's right. That's it, dude.
Anyway, I think it's time we talk about the man of the hour. And by man of the hour, I mean the game of the day. The game of the day being Freediver, Triton Down, the Extended Cut. Extended Cut, you say? What is extended about it? Well, I'll tell you what. This game is, well, first of all, it was one of the more notable PC VR releases last year. We've reviewed this game kind of toward the beginning of our channel. In the early days, we reviewed this game, and we unanimously liked it. And when I say unanimously, there were 4 of us back then, and we all loved this game because of the unique locomotion style. The only complaint that we had about it was that it was a little bit too short. Well, in having rebuilt this game from the ground up for Oculus Quest as well as PlayStation VR, obviously it's not going to have the visual fidelity of a PC VR version. So to make up for that, there is additional content. Is it anything that's profoundly impactful on the game? No, but it does give the story a bit more depth. They do remix a few things and make them a little bit different. And having just finished playing through this version on the Quest, I gotta say, as impressed as I was with the PC version, I'm just as impressed with what they've been able to accomplish on the Oculus Quest.
Yeah. It's funny. It'd been, like you said, 6 to 8 months, but since we played it last, so I didn't remember much of what I had played. I didn't play the Quest version, obviously, because Ruuts doesn't have a Quest. So I played it again through the PC version, and I had forgotten most of what I played through, and I was awed again. And like you said, the movement in this game, just being able to use your arms like you normally would in real life to swim, is next level. And it impressed me again how cool this game is. So much so that, Wes, I thought I'm just gonna jump in, because you even said, you don't even need to do that much in it, just to refresh yourself, blah blah blah, whatever you said. And next thing I knew, I played through the whole thing again because I had so much fun, and wanted to just see how it ended, because I had forgotten, and was equally impressed the second time.
Yeah, I guess before we dive deep on this game for a second time, we should talk a little bit about our giveaway. Ruuts mentioned that he doesn't have a Quest to play the new version on. So Ruuts is Lost becomes your game, because who's going to get Ruuts' keys? You are. So this is what we're going to do. We've got a few Quest keys to give away, and by the time you guys see this, we're supposed to have a few PlayStation VR keys to give away. So what we're going to do is, for those of you watching live, keep an eye on the chat. You may see some codes popping up in there momentarily, or you may already have, honestly. And for those of you who did not get to catch this episode live, here's what I want you to do. I want you to, 1, subscribe, And two, go down to the comments below and just leave a comment stating which platform you would like to enter a drawing. And in 2 days' time, 48 hours, on Thursday, we will select a couple winners and we will notify you via YouTube, or, you know, if you're a member of our Discord, we'll just get a hold of you on our Discord. But if you have a Quest, if you have a PSVR and you're not watching this live, or even if you are watching this live, all you got to do, go down to the comments below again. Be sure you leave a comment telling us which platform that you want to play on. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel, and you could win a key to this awesome game in the next couple of days. All right, so for those of you who are new to the channel, who are new to VR, what is Freediver Triton Down? Well, Freediver Triton Down plunges you into a capsizing research ship, the Triton, where survival means outmaneuvering the water's lethal surge. As world-class diver Rin Tanaka, you must freedive through a sinking ship, overcome underwater chaos, and unlock your path to the surface, all while protecting your most precious resource, the breath in your lungs. Again, this was reworked for PlayStation VR and Oculus Quest. The Freediver Triton Down Extended Cut boasts a deeper story, expanded gameplay areas, and all new ways to explore them. So basically the premise here, the gameplay premise, as we already mentioned, you're diving, and it has this unique locomotion style where you gesture with your arms and literally swim through the water. And you know, more than anything, Ruuts, I feel like that's the whole draw of this game, is just how fun and immersive it is to experience this unique locomotion style.
Yeah, because this game, like, even just I found, even this time I found myself the same way, but especially the first time, like, there's areas where you get to a certain room and water's filling up, and I felt panic, like I need to get to the air, you know, like it makes you feel like you're underwater. And it's one of those things that it just, the immersion is very done very well. And so it's one of those things that I enjoyed. So.
Yeah, and the thing you're talking about there is probably the one thing that makes this game challenging, and that is the idea that you're not a scuba diver, you're a free diver. And what that means is you don't have some oxygen tank strapped to your back. You're holding your breath and going down under the water, and you have an oxygen meter on your arm, like a biometric feedback thing. And if you run out of air, you die. So you're constantly searching for either oxygen tanks to get a breath from, or searching for pockets of air above you that you can swim and stick your face into. And it's not very long, is it, Ruuts, before that thing starts to run out?
No, it's constantly ticking down. So you're always looking, trying to find air. No, so I guess would you describe this as it's kind of like an escape the room puzzler, right? Except for you're escaping the ship and you're going, you know, trying to find your way out, and you're running into a whole bunch of puzzles as well, right?
Yeah, it's kind of like a maze with puzzles, only and it's got this science fiction theme kind of pulled over it. And that, more than anything, was the biggest surprise when we played this the first time. We were expecting the gameplay mechanic. We knew how unique and innovative that was going to be. What we didn't expect was how great the story is that goes with this.
Yeah, story's done very well. And you know, even some of the things that happen in here are kind of like heart-wrenching as far as some of the characters, and it's just a well done game. And now it's, I guess, it's going for $14.99, correct?
Yeah, that's the price on Quest and PlayStation VR. You can also get the original version of this on Steam, and I think even on the Oculus Store. I think it costs a little bit less, but the extended cut, What it does effectively, it tells the same story, but it provides a little bit more support for it. There's more details. There are new areas that you have access to in the ship, and you find these audio logs that play back and give you little bits of the story. So as good as the story was, the pleasant surprise, it's even got a little bit more depth when you play the extended cut.
Wow, that's cool. I'm definitely gonna have to check out the Quest version when I get my Quest, even though the key won't be there anymore. It's like I told you, I was like, man, give that away, dude. Somebody else needs that stuff. So yeah, so some lucky people are gonna get to play this. They won't even have to pay $15. But now this is what, about an hour, hour and a half at the most, I would say. It's not the longest experience or game, but definitely for what it is, it's definitely amazing.
Yeah, I put about an hour into the original and got a little closer to an hour and a half in this one. Yeah, that's kind of the thing with it. It's a short game, but it's an inexpensive game at the same time. So again, nothing like this. I mean, there's nothing like this, period, if you want to be brutally honest about it, but certainly nothing like this on the Oculus Quest, or the PSVR for that matter. So I kind of feel like $15 is a fair price for it.
Yeah, definitely. Now you were telling me you are hoping that they do maybe not a sequel, but they do a game that brings both Evasion and this game, because they made Evasion as well, like the mechanics of both into maybe a shooter or a story game, or I don't know. I was thinking even the same game, as far as you're a diver, but you're a mercenary with a gun on your back. And I don't know, man. I just love the mechanics of the swimming, and I just want to see them put it into another game. Like even the fact that there's no analog stick turning, or at least I didn't use the snap turning. So if I want to turn, I got to do this. And that's why you were saying in the last episode that if your wife were to play this game, she'd be swimming in circles. And
Yeah.
which is very true. You got to use both arms, man. You can't just use one. It doesn't work that way.
What you're looking at here is also one of the cooler things about this game. You're in a ship that's capsized. It's a big vessel that's turned completely upside down. So as you're trying to navigate your way through these dark corridors and you're trying to read signs, everything's upside down. So you're going up through floor hatches. The ceiling is the floor. You're going through stairwells, and instead of going up, you're going down. You're descending up the stairs.
It gets confusing, right? It reminds me of the old movie Poseidon Adventure, where the ship was upside down. And but yeah, no, I definitely got lost in there many times, even to the point where I must have gone by the same area 10 times thinking, I don't know how the hell I'm supposed to go. And it was literally supposed to swim underneath the floor to get to the next room. And so, yeah, there's a lot of problem solving as you're trying to not suffocate. So,
Well, that's the whole thing. It's a dark corridor, and it's a very maze-like game. It's the whole point is to try to escape, find the way out, and often you'll see the way after looking for a little while. It is dark. You do have to use your light. That's another difference here too, Ruuts. There's no glow sticks in the Quest version. They actually give you a proper flashlight.
oh, really?
In this one that you can point around.
Oh, man, I would love to have a flashlight, because the glow stick doesn't last forever either. Stick that sucker on there, and then all of a sudden you look down and it's not glowing anymore. So,
But anyway, after searching around, you'll often find the way to go, but you never know if you should go for it or if you should go back and get some more oxygen, because the path ahead's always question marks. You don't know when your next air is going to be. So you're kind of constantly debating with yourself. All right, here's the way that we go. Do I go or do I turn back? And oftentimes, I found myself making the wrong decision, especially in this Quest version. I probably died 5 or 6 times playing through this thing where I only died once or twice on the original, I think.
Did you find any dead bodies floating
Oh,
around?
dude, they were everywhere. And it was one of the more impressive things graphically about the Quest version. You know, the Quest version, it's noticeably different graphically than the PC version, obviously. And if you have a Quest, you already know what the differences are. This game is similar to other games like Apex Construct, Rush comes to mind. It just looks different. But I was pretty impressed with the character models for the dead bodies, considering what the Quest is. You know, a Snapdragon 835 optimized to the gills. You know, but yeah, there's dead bodies everywhere in this game.
Yeah, I only ask because you know, you see all these dead bodies floating around, and then you get to talking to somebody, and they're talking about, oh yeah, I ran into the such and such is dead, and this is dead. Like all these people are like, you see a dead body. To me, I don't know who this dude is, right? But like, she goes into detail of who these people are, and it gives you a feeling of like, I don't know, man. You just, when you're playing a game like this, you can detach yourself somewhat. But this character was on the ship with these people and really had real relationships with them, and is now really seeing them floating around, and that's fucked up, man. So
yeah, one of the more unsettling moments in the game, and I don't remember if it was like this in the original or not, but during one of the very first scenes on the ship, you burst out of that first room and you can hear these people panicking as they're dying, and it's like super loud. And I didn't really remember it being all that loud, if I heard it at all in the original. Did you notice these screams of these people?
I did notice some today, but I don't remember them being loud. But man, maybe it was. But either way, it's disturbing to hear people panicking and screaming and freaking out.
Yeah, it's very loud in the Quest version. And to be clear, this thing is remixed a little bit. It's not exactly the same. You kind of end up in the same spots, but you take alternate means of getting there. So while I'm not sure I would, if you already own this on Steam or Oculus, I'm not sure I would suggest you go out and drop another 15 on it. If you do get the opportunity to play it without having to buy it, it is worth a second playthrough just to check out the differences. I had fun, you know, and this isn't something I was clamoring to play through again a week ago, but when I played it with the Monday show in mind, I wasn't forcing myself through it. I enjoyed it thoroughly. I think I enjoyed it pretty much as I enjoyed playing it the first time.
Yeah, it's funny you say that, because even though I didn't play the a different version, I'd say the same thing for myself. I had as much fun this time playing through a second time as I did the first time. It was just as good. So it's definitely holding up.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so PSVR and Quest players will discover all the intense swim and breath mechanics of the original, plus additional areas throughout the entire game, many of which have been plunged in the claustrophobic darkness. They'll also get an all-new flashlight to explore the submerged world, expanded gameplay with new puzzles to solve and deadly threats to evade, an enriched story that delves even deeper, telling the tale of the doomed crew of the Triton in the days before their disaster. I'd say overall that's kind of the biggest change from the extended cut from the PC version, is it kind of emphasizes the loss of that crew a lot more and what it must have been like as these people face their demise.
Yeah. Well, I told you this before, and I still agree with it, even though I should, because it was like 15 minutes ago. But I believe they should have, to tie it in, they should have ended with the same as the beginning, and tied it all together. I won't go into any of that, but I just feel like they could have filled in some of the story, that way as well. So
Yeah, well, maybe they'll do what we were suggesting earlier, and maybe they'll give us a sequel to this. You know, what you were saying is true, and the reason why is I want more of this gameplay mechanic. I want more of this story. I want a larger game in this world, but not necessarily a sequel in the sense I don't want to try to escape by swimming again. I'd like an action adventure based on this story that tells more about this story. But while there's some swimming in it, I would like to think that there's some other above ground activities as well. It's just done so well. To be honest, I'm just selfish, Roots, and I want more.
yeah, I don't blame you. Look at that. The water has how it literally was rising up there. That's where it does get claustrophobic, and you're looking for that pocket of air that they're about to find here. And then you get up there and you find out there's nothing up there. And so now you're just filling your oxygen to go back down into that dark, scary place that you don't want to go back down into. And I don't know, it just does such a good job of really making you feel like you're swimming past a dead body that it's just good immersion, man.
Yeah, and it like literally immersion, right?
Yeah.
But they do a good job. You know, the main mechanic of the game is breathing. You don't forget to breathe. It's kind of the catch line for the game. And it's apt because they throw so many different things at you with the story, with the puzzles, with the trying to escape, that's what kills you more than anything is just forgetting to breathe, right?
Yeah. If you're not paying attention to that thing, and it gives you little warnings, like audible warnings every now and then, but I never paid attention to it. I found myself, for the most part, as long as I went quick enough, I could find some kind of air within time. But look at that water, just keeps rising. Ain't gonna be a safe haven too much longer. It's definitely one of the best mechanics I've had in a long time as far as swimming, and I agree with you 100%. It needs to be added to other games as well.
Yeah, so. I agree. So I know what you all are saying. Why did they rebuild it? Why not just a port? Well, I've got a quote to that effect. It says, "No matter how successful a game release may be, the developers will always look back at the great content that was inevitably left on the cutting room floor and makes all sorts of sad, wistful noises." For us, the extended cut is a rare opportunity for us to revisit a title loved by both us and our players, building on everything that made the original great while exploring all of the wild ideas that they couldn't let go of. Ruuts, I think really what we're looking at here is a passion project. They loved the game that they built. After they released it, the ideas kept coming. Oh, what if we did this? Oh, what if we did that? And they said, you know what? Let's do it. We've got these other platforms we haven't published on, and we can literally do what we want. So why not just rebuild the game and add all this cool stuff in?
Yeah, I think it's cool. It shows a lot for the developers. Shows that they're not going to just be lazy and just put it out as it was. They want to keep improving and adding to it, and it just shows that they have passion, right?
Right. And I know what all you PC guys are thinking out there. You're thinking, when are we going to get our hands on the extended cut? Well, I knew you were going to ask that question, so I pushed that question on to Archiact, and this is what their community manager told me. All right. So it said, this is a tricky question. Due to the fact that the extended cut of Freediver Triton Down was quite literally rebuilt from the ground up for PlayStation VR and Oculus Quest, the extended cut will only be available on those platforms at launch. While we could have chosen to simply port the original version to PSVR and Quest and call it a day, we felt that it would have been a missed opportunity not to explore some of the ideas we'd had for so long, and wanted to add them as a way of augmenting the PSVR Quest experience in lieu of PC level graphic fidelity. So what Renee told me, hi Renee, what Renee told me was basically they understood that by publishing on Quest and PlayStation VR, you're going to lose some of those beautiful graphics that the original was known for, and they felt like as a value adding proposition they would give those players extra content to make up for that lack of graphics. I think it's pretty cool. I think it's thoughtful on the part of these developers. You don't normally see this line of thinking from a development team.
Yeah, true. So when are we going to get to see it on PC? Oh, wait. I don't think it's coming to PC, Wes. I think you're getting what you get on PC, and if you want a little bit more extra story, just get it on the Quest or the PlayStation VR, right?
Well, let's keep our fingers crossed for cross-buy. I didn't ask her about cross-buy.
That's a good point.
Perhaps people who own this on Oculus Quest, or I'm sorry, Oculus Rift, if they one day own a Quest, maybe they will get the extended cut for free and be able to experience it that way.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
All right, so in case you missed it, Freediver Triton Down Extended Cut released today on Oculus Quest and PlayStation VR in North America. The PSVR European release is coming in 2 days on February 27th. So be on the lookout for that. $14.99, worth every penny. But if you don't want to pay for it, all you got to do, go down, be sure to subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment down below telling us which platform you'd like to have it on, PSVR or Quest. And in a couple of days' time, as it's releasing in the European territories, we're going to give away a few copies on each platform. So,
man, somebody's going to get to swim it up, man. I'm telling you, the mechanics on this are just next level. It is definitely a very unique way of moving around in VR.
It's just a unique game all around. I can't think. I mean, when I think of games that are similar to this, they're all outer space games, right?
Yeah. No, and I'm not very big on puzzle games, but this didn't even feel like a puzzle game. It just felt like an experience. Like, dude, you're sinking in a ship. You need to get the fuck out of here. And it was very good. So
yeah, the puzzles in this game are light. They're the environmental type puzzles, like this door is powered down, so I can't open it. You got to go, find the fuse box, things like that. Turn on the electricity.
Common
these
sense.
sorts of things. Yeah.
Yeah. Real puzzles.
There's a lock. Go find the axe to break it. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Stuff like that.
Well,
but it's a joy to play.
Hopefully, I was gonna say, hopefully, if you were like me, you saw the axe and you grabbed it because you figured I'm probably gonna need this, and then you're like, oh hey, there's a lock here I need to break. That was kind of cool. Oh.
Yeah, well, I don't remember if it was in the original or not, but there's 2 or 3 places in the Quest version that you need that axe. I had to find multiple axes to make my way through the game.
Yeah.
Anyway, an awesome game. Good luck to all of those of you who are entering the giveaway, and congratulations to those who grabbed the keys out of the live chat.
Yeah, I can already think of a few people who I know probably got it because they're always there for the live stream. And congratulations, gaming science teacher. And no, I'm just kidding. So,
yeah.
We'll see.
Well, we always pull for GST to pull one of these Quest keys whenever we do giveaways. She hasn't gotten one yet, I don't think, has she?
Mm-mm. Not from us, from everybody else, but
right. Well, good luck to everyone, and GST, if you grab that code, congratulations.
Yeah.
Anyway, what'd you think? Be sure to let us know in the comments down below, and if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. And for those of you who are new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe and click the notification bell to stay up with all of our content here on the Virtual Strangers channel. With that said, friends, we would like to thank you all for watching. And for Ruuts, I'm Wes. We'll see you tomorrow, friends. Bye-bye.
Take it easy.